maybe another one right here, so that way we can get plenty of stretching right here across the ankle if we need it. We go to that allows that movement. Nothing really going on here. Okay. So let's go ahead and start working on the index finger of this, and I like to just start out with something like a primitive, like a cylinder, and I'm going to drag this out. Okay, it doesn't really matter about the radius or the height, just kind of get that out there. I'm going to take my size down to 8. Okay, the lower the resolution on the fingers, the better, but I find that 8 is an optimal number because it gives us all sides of the finger a nice even distribution of polygons, and just really easy to work with. So let's go ahead and rotate this 90 degrees. Let's make sure our angle snapping is on. Rotate that 90 degrees down, and let me go ahead and take the sides down to 1, the height segments on that. Let's go ahead and orient this to the finger of the index finger. Go ahead and turn off that angle snapping because we're not going to get exactly the angle with that turned on. And then let's go ahead and move this forward onto that finger. And then we'll rotate that. Let's make sure we switch this over to local view to rotate that. And just get that lined up on the finger as close as possible. Let's go ahead and move this up also on the local. Move it up in the Z to where it butts right up against that knuckle there. Alright, very good. So now let's convert it to editable poly. And I'm going to go to polygon mode. I'm going to select this bottom polygon and scale it again in the local direction. Scale it on the X and Y to where it fits the shape of the finger. If you need to, move this around to kind of get it centered up a little bit more. You don't have to be exact, but you want to be fairly close on that. Let's go ahead and select the polygon across the top. I'm also going to scale this along the X and the Y. Scale that up. Grab your move tool. Pull that over a little bit, just like that. Let's make sure that that move tool is in the local direction. Okay. So now with this, let's go ahead and extrude it. So I'm going to extrude that. Let's bring that amount down to about 1, and then just move that to the next knuckle. Let's move that in the Y, rotate it, make sure we're in the local axis, rotate it to where it's kind of orienting to the direction that the knuckle is pointing, so the end of the finger there. And we'll move it, just try to get it centered up on that finger, and then we'll scale it down on the X and Y. And then I'm going to extrude that and then push it back up against the end of the finger just like that. I'm not going to go right out to the end just like that because I'm going to actually extrude it out one more time to get the end of that. I'm looking at this and I can see that it's getting a little off in the X direction, the Y direction, so I'm going to scale it down. Just kind of move it and try to get it centered on that. Okay, if some parts are poking through, just go ahead and select the segments, push those around a little bit, just try to get those centered. But at this point, we're looking really good. And I'm going to extrude it one more time. Hit OK. Pull that out to the end of the finger. And then I'm going to scale this down. Center it up on the end, just like that. And then I'm going to go to vertex mode, and I'm going to, we could either put it at a point, okay, with triangles at the end, but what I like to do is I like to actually connect edges. I like to cut across where the fingernail is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and connect that, and then we'll take this one and we'll connect that. And then I'll take this edge right here and I'm going to pull that back, but it's kind of hard to pull it back in its local direction. So instead, I'm going to use constrain edge, and I'm going to use the view on that. I'm going to pull this back in the Y. And you'll see